always said that must be very, very difficult, especially to be a ZANU-PF member when factionalism and factional tensions within ZANU-PF are taking a center stage, as we are witnessing between the retired General Chiwenga faction as well as also the Mnangagwa faction. Patrick Chinamasa held an interview recently whereby he spoke at length, especially regarding Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3 of 2026, indicating that Mnangagwa should not, in fact, go against the ZANU-PF decision to extend his term of office beyond 2028. Saying that unless he can prove through medical record that he is not capable to continue as the president. We know that Patrick Chinamasa is not saying so wholeheartedly, and we know that he is saying so as a security measure, and they are forced actually to project this narrative that they are in support of Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3. What he had to do carefully is not to cross the line of retired General Chiwenga. He had the wisdom not to do so. When asked about the Hezekiah biblical allusion, Patrick Chinamasa said, I would never be invited into that discussion, saying that he has not started the scripture of Hezekiah, and he declined to comment on the scripture of Hezekiah because he was going to find himself in direct confrontation with one of the vice president in Zimbabwe, who is up against Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. Let's listen to Patrick Chinamasa speaking.
I'm more familiar with the New Testament. If you ask me about the New Testament, my first time to hear about that there was Hezekiah was when they were commentators. And I can't get the term. What did he do? I can't comment on. I'm not familiar with the Old Testament.
Your fellow party member, Mr. Secretary General, Mr. Mahia.
He's not Secretary General. He's not War Federation. He's Secretary for Federation.
Secretary for Federation, sorry, yeah. He said the sermon was delivered wrongly.
I don't know what sermon. To be honest, I'm not familiar with the Old Testament. In the Old Testament, if you asked me something about Job, I would do, I think, and I have read that. If you ask me something about Deuteronomy,
and
Genesis, Exodus, Daniel, the one, and then these three who were put in the furnace, then
okay, it's the trick. That is actually, I wanted to play this whole thing up to the end. I hope it can play. So this is the interview that Patrick Chinamasa did, and when the presenter tried to actually draw... Okay.
Abednego and so on, those are the only stories. Shadrach, go on to see. This is not going to
Okay, so Patrick Chinamasa, when he was asked about the comments of retired General Chiwenga regarding the scripture of Hezekiah, he said in the Bible he only understands scriptures in the New Testament and some few books in the Old Testament. That is where he mentioned Daniel and Abednego, Job. He has not read the scripture of Hezekiah, so he didn't want to be drawn to comment on Hezekiah. There is absolutely no way, no way Patrick Chinamasa can be a Christian as he claimed, and at his age not have heard about King Hezekiah in the Bible. There is absolutely nothing like that. So when he was asked about Hezekiah, he said, I have no I have no knowledge of King Hezekiah scripture and displaying what he knows in the Bible. I think that was wisdom, not to find himself now at loggerheads with retired General Chiwenga. Patrick Chinamasa displayed ignorance as a way of evading that question and evading finding himself in direct confrontation with the faction of retired General Chiwenga. As much as he was supporting Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3, if he attempted to answer relating to the scripture of Hezekiah, there is no way he could have answered, given a proper answer there, without hitting retired General Chiwenga. I mean, the presenter tried to say, but we've got individuals in ZANU-PF, such as the Secretary for War Veterans, Douglas Mahia, who has said Chiwenga misinterpreted the scripture of King Hezekiah. The old man did not want, he said, uneasy, which means I'm not coming in terms of explaining and interpreting that particular scripture. To me, that was wisdom exercised by Patrick Chinamasa. It's not that he doesn't understand that scripture. I don't think he is telling the truth. That was a politically calculated answer. Because if he answered, so the easier way out for him not to put himself in trouble or to be trending and stepping on the cons of retired General Chiwenga. Patrick Chinamasa simply had to say, no, I don't understand the scripture at all. You know, when someone asks you, this person spoke this about the Hezekiah, what is your understanding? And then you say, no, you know, in the Bible, I understand only New Testament and few scriptures. If you ask me about Job, and he commented on the scripture that retired General Chiwenga did not use as reference and didn't want to be drawn to comment on retired General Chiwenga. If evading question was a personality, I'm telling you the truth. I mean, Patrick Chinamasa would take the cup in that regard. So he spoke about when he was also asked, I remember, about Rutendo Matinyarare on whether to comment on Rutendo Matinyarare. He also indicated ignorance. He said he displayed ignorance in terms of knowing Rutendo Matinyarare, something like that, because the presenter, when he was asked really difficult questions, let's listen to this when he was asked about Rutendo Matinyarare in this presentation.
A number of activists within your party, they like Rutendo Matinyarare. Don't agree with.
I don't know whether it's, I don't know Rutendo. I don't know it. But what I'm saying is, if you
the presenter was saying Rutendo Matinyarare is against Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3 of 2026. Of course, he is a ZANU-PF youth, but he is not buying into this. And again, I think trying not to find himself being attacked the following day, what the old man did. He displayed ignorance about Rutendo Matinyarare, and I must attest to you that that was deliberate, that was calculated. Patrick Chinamasa indeed understand who Rutendo Matinyarare is. There is no Rutendo has been making a lot of irritating noise, especially in defense of ZANU-PF. There is absolutely no way this fellow would not know him, especially if he exists on X. There is absolutely no way. So in my view, the man was trying to evade the question. It was simply evading the question, and he did so successfully. You know, I feel for these old people. They don't love Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa. At the same time, they fear the man. At the same time, they want to try and actually appear to be appeasing the men, but treating also carefully not to be also seen to attack retired General Chiwenga, because they are trying to survive post Emerson Tambuzo Mnangagwa in case retired General Chiwenga becomes successful and remove Emerson Tambuzo Mnangagwa. It's quite interesting. It's quite interesting what is going on within ZANU-PF. But of course, he was waffling on constitutional amendment bill number 3, everything he said about it. But you should understand at this moment, especially individuals like Patrick Chinamasa, if they are not seen touring the land. Remember, in Bulawayo, he is the one who poured cold water on 2030 term extension, and we saw Mnangagwa supporters lashing out at him. So definitely, this is a man who is trying to survive. And it's difficult to survive. I've seen even Barakashis, they end up becoming flip-floppers of not. Just imagine, recently there was Temba Mliswa against Whitnell Chivayo, and they would not know. There was a point where Paul Tungwarara and Hudawashe Takure were seemingly attacking each other. And that was the biggest confusion ever to happen within ZANU-PF. And this, in fact, symbolizes the kind of leadership, the character of the leadership. That is the order of the day in Zimbabwe. So Patrick Chinamasa tried not to put himself in trouble, and he avoided questions that could have invited political trouble on his side, and that could have made him to be the focal point. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Oga Mtabane is signing out. Let me love and leave you. Let's meet on the other side.